my name is Tobeka, and for this video we'll be looking at a grade 12 topic which is called Team Performance Assessment, Conflict Management and Problem Solving. Start looking at how we can collaborate with one another to achieve specific objectives. It is said that the success of one does not build a business, but the success of a team. There's a saying that says you can run alone and you can run fast, but if you run together, we run far. It's very important that we work together. So the success of the business depends on collaboration in a business, of which is not always easy because we deal with people with different personalities, and that can cause conflict in a business. So we will look at how we can manage conflict in a business. So now we look at the criteria for successful team performance. First things first is clear objectives. So the objectives must be clear. We must all understand what we are trying to do. Secondly, agreed goals. So not only are they giving us what we're supposed to do, we also have to agree so that we'll increase our level of commitment. Openness. This means that we must be able to share what we think, how we feel. So it should be an environment whereby we are free to be open. And then we have mutual respect. That means you have to respect me, I'll respect you as well. This is very important because this will reduce conflict. Support and mutual trust. This means you must be loyal and reliable. If you said you will do your part, please do your part, because if you don't do that, then the team won't trust you anymore. And then we have what we call commitment. Commitment is about passion, doing what you want to do despite the distractions and problems, and being able to carry out your task. Interpersonal relationships. As a team, we are dealing with different people, so it's important that we form relationships that will make working together a bit easier. And then we have individual development opportunities. Individuals must be given opportunities to develop themselves, to learn a new skill. And then we also have reviewing the team's progress. So we need to review the team progress so that we can rectify the mistakes and align ourselves to the goals. How to effectively perform a specific role within a team. So first things first, we need to identify the strengths and the weaknesses of each team member so that we are able to allocate them a role that they will be able to do. And also the role has to be well defined with clear instructions and boundaries so that they know what exactly is expected of them. And we should also avoid role overload. That means when a team member has a lot to do in little time, we should avoid that because we will not be able to meet the team's deadlines. If it comes to push, then more than one member should have more than 2 tasks so that we are able to reach deadlines and no one has a role overload. So we will now look at problem solving and conflict management. First things first, we need to accept conflict and acknowledge that it can be valuable if it is controlled. So first things first, we must be able to control conflict, because if we can't, then we will not be able to finish our objectives. But conflict can be valuable because it gives an opportunity for our team members to be open, to express their feelings, and which can help a team because we will know where we stand with our team members, and that can also lead to idea generation as they are engaged in a conflict. Secondly, blame shifting should be avoided. Blame shifting doesn't work. So it's just going to waste time if we're just going to blame each other. And then constructive questioning is needed. This is what we need to do. We need to question what caused the conflict, who is conflicting, how can we solve this. So those are the type of questions we need to ask ourselves. And then we need to direct the team to finding solutions. So when we find solutions, it's the whole team. It's not only the team members who are in a conflict, but together as a team, we find solutions after questionings. After we have had questions, These questions will lead us to the possibility of finding a solution. And then we need to engage the entire team. After that, we engage the whole team. As I said, for a team to move forward and to address the conflict, we need to engage the whole team and go forward. Correct procedure to deal with grievance. So if any team member is feeling feelings of injustice or dissatisfaction, they can engage in a grievance procedure. So in stage 1, they can approach their immediate superior, such as a supervisor, and then tell them their problem. And their problem should be addressed in no later than 3 days. If the employee feels that the matter was not solved, he or she can take it to stage 2. Stage 2. A meeting with the immediate superior, such as a supervisor, can be requested, and a statement of the grievance should be drawn up to indicate the nature of the grievance. The superior or the supervisor may respond in writing or set up a meeting. Employees are allowed to bring in their representatives and their witnesses to the meeting. The supervisor must attempt to resolve the issue within 10 working days, and the decision taken by the supervisor as an arbitrator is final. Using my Via Africa Business Studies Grade 12 Learners Textbook, and I'm on page 163, and we are now looking at different ways of dealing with difficult people or personalities. This question is normally asked in assessments, so pay attention and understand this. Number 1, become and in control of the situation to get the person to collaborate. If the person is difficult and is making noise and you also are high there, the person will not listen to you. Instead, you will get into more conflict. So try and become and be in control. Understand the person's intention and why they act the way they do. So if we understand why they act the way they do, maybe we'll be able to resolve conflict and make sure that they don't act the way that they do. Get perspectives from others who have experienced the similar situation. So try and get ideas from other people on how they managed such situations. For example, get information from other managers, how they deal with difficult employees in their own company, so that you'll be able to solve the problem. Build rapport by establishing personal connection with colleagues instead of relying on emails. In a digital world that we live in, sometimes it's important to take time and build personal relations with your employees to avoid conflict. And then we must let the person know our intentions and the reasons for actions. So they must know what we're trying to do, and they must understand our actions so that they are not feeling uneasy. And we need to treat the person with respect, not as if they are stupid, incapable, or incompetent. Just because they're difficult doesn't mean they are stupid. Just because they're difficult doesn't mean they're incompetent. They are very competent, that's why they're in the business, so we just have to respect them. Ask someone in authority to help resolve the situation. So you can ask someone from the higher management to help resolve the situation. If you have tried everything above and the person is still not responding, then ignore them. If you've tried so hard to get them to collaborate and to work with us and it's still difficult, then we just ignore them and we keep it pushing. Okay guys, so we have an activity here. So we are supposed to read the case study and then answer the questions that follow. The case study reads as follows. Hans feels that he should have received a promotion last year, so he approaches the executive manager of his company as he is about to get into his car. The manager briefly listens to Hans' story but tells Hans that he has an important appointment and drives away. Number 1, explain the procedure that hands should have followed in order to file a grievance. Clearly indicate what hands has done wrong. Number 2, briefly explain the importance of effective performance within a team. The correct procedure to deal with grievance. Stage 1, hands should have approached his immediate supervisor to report the grievance, not the executive manager. The grievance should be addressed as soon as possible, not later than 3 working days after it is reported. If not resolved, the aggrieved employee should proceed to the next stage. Stage 2, a meeting should be requested with the immediate supervisor and a grievance statement drawn up to indicate the nature of the grievance. The supervisor may respond in writing or set up a meeting. If a meeting is held, the employees involved are allowed to bring their representatives and witnesses. The supervisor who deals with the grievance must attempt to resolve the grievance in 10 working days. The decision of the supervisor acting as the arbitrator is final. If the aggrieved employee finds it necessary, he or she may resort to an external dispute resolution mechanism such as CCMA if the company fails to resolve the grievance. So with business studies, they might ask you a question whereby the answer is not in the case study. So they ask you a question referring to that particular section that is there on the case study. So they assume that you know everything about that section. So the question is, briefly explain the importance of effective performance within a team. So each member has a specific role to fulfill. In order to fulfill their roles, members of the team need to understand each other's role. Each person's strengths and weaknesses should be identified so that they can be given a suitable team role. The role of each member in the team needs to be well defined and have clear boundaries and instruction. Role overload should be avoided to ensure effective team performance. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you've learned something about team performance assessment, problem solving, and conflict management. Please comment down below of which part you might still be struggling with or which part you now understand. Let us engage. And also don't forget to subscribe, which is very important. Subscribe, like, turn on the notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a video. Bye for now.